Okay, let's go and jump to rank games with a random character and see what we're going to get today. So it looks like we're playing a deer ranger. We do start off with leather boots and a carrot and a set of blueberries, which is really darn nice. Now I'm going to start off by grabbing ourselves this broom. Let's grab the stone. Let's grab the set of healing herbs. I do want to grab the whetstone to potentially go for Falcon Blade type setup. Falcon Blade card Goobert. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to grab the piggy bank. I'm going to roll once here. We do get a hero sword, and I do want to craft it up. I think for now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to sell our piggy bank here. Sell our piggy bank, grab our hero sword, craft up that hero sword, place in our leather boots for now. And do we want to set of healing herbs? I think I'm going to place in an extra stone here. I do also want to grab the banana, but I'm going to actually venture on with this for now. This should be pretty decent. Round 1, leather armor, or the leather boots should give us 15. Block here is going to give us 1 bit of luck to increase in accuracy and in power. So hell yeah, not too bad. We got a hero sword. Let's grab our banana. Let's roll. Let's grab a storage here. And I do want to grab the shiny shell. I'm going to waste 1 gold rolling here to try and find ourselves more healing herbs, more stones. But yeah, we're going to move on. We want to find healing herbs. We want to find stones to potentially go for stone golem as well. Can we keep up with this Reaper here? So far, it's not looking too bad. Again, we did get our power stacked up. And hell yeah, not too bad. So right now, guard power is going to be pretty darn good. We do get 1 class-specific item, being our cards. The only thing is, if we're going power stacking, guard power is only going to provide a lot of regen. But if you grab a bunch of heart containers with a bunch of empower, yeah, it could be a lot of fun. Smithing for dummies would help us out with our stamina consumption on a bunch of crafted weapons. I'd love to go for 2 Falcon Blades, but that's going to be too unrealistic. We could end up going for Crit with Staff, which would be kind of nice too. Markswoman, if we take it, we're probably going to want to switch up and go for some crossbows. There's no crossbows in the game. Freaking Tusk Piercers, Fortune's Grace, or the Poison Bows as well. I think I'm going to take guard power though, because we could end up taking the leaf, which would be kind of nice too. Let's grab this bit of storage. Let's grab more healing herbs. I'm not going to take any of these items. That's a rim badge. I'm going to say goodbye. Let's take an extra stone here. And yeah, I'm just going to venture on once again with this. With our healing herbs here, it does mean our guard power after 5.5 seconds is going to give us even more damage, which should be awesome. Our opponent does have a lot of heals with Gooblings and a Shell Totem as well as Shelly. So can we stack up enough empower here to take him out? Because they're going to actually stack up quite a bit of empower as well. We do manage to get a little bit more, but again, they have a ton of heals. Well, 5 in power, 4 regen. Can we still keep up? Our hero sword is going to be dealing about 7 damage per hit, which is actually kind of awesome. They're just hanging on by a thread, but big ol' smashing crit from our broom. Now, speaking of basin, more healing herbs, also box of riches. I think for now, though, I'm going to take our storage. I'm just going to take more healing herbs. I'm going to switch this out a little bit, place in our stones. And, you know, I think I'm just going to move on with this for now. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to take the box of riches. We could generate up a lot of value from that as well. We could grab some pretty high value gemstones, but I think the priority is getting that Falcon Blade, grabbing some extra stones, looking for a bag of stones. Making use of this empower here would be amazing. Now, the rainbow badge actually could have helped. Just thinking about it, since seeing the double rainbow, could have helped out quite a bit getting our class-specific items, because it would have given us class-specific items from every class. But it is what it is. We're dealing some big damage with our empower. And hell yeah. Amazing. Now, even more regen. Hell yeah. Let's roll. We could actually go for a THORNBLOOM type setup. A guard powered THORNBLOOM seems kind of amazing not to take here. So I'm going to take this storage. I'm going to roll again. That's some crits. That's an extra carrot. Yeah, I want all this stuff. I also want this bit of storage. I'm also looking at this on Dead Phenomena. I think I'm going to just venture on with this for now though. Now our opponent is rocking Slime Time with a little Gooberts, so they're going to have quite a bit of heals. They're going to be stacking up some spikes as well. Well, it's going to be stacking up spikes, but they're potentially going to stack up a little bit more with the pineapple. Actually, no, definitely not. We've got tons of regen here. But is it going to be enough to keep up with this opponent here? Unfortunately, definitely not. And speaking of crazy, how about we just grab our THORNBLOOM right now? Let's grab this storage. Let's sell our broom and let's get ourselves some crits for now as well. Which is going to be another class specific item, which is also pretty darn awesome. And yeah, let's go on with this for now. So we should be able to stack up quite a bit of max life with our THORNBLOOM, which should be amazing. That's for sure. Now our opponent does have a big old hammer. With no rush, please. They got an insane amount of heat. This hammer is going to be going super fast actually. And they're actually inflicting quite a bit of poison on us. But can we still keep up? We got lots of power. We got lots of regen here. We got tons of spikes. And you know what? Hell yeah. Not too bad. Now I did kind of want to go for a Falcon Blade here, but a second turnip has shown up, so we're going to sell this. We're going to take the turnip here. We're definitely going to take the carrot, and you know what? I actually really want to grab this mana orb. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get a stone golem online. I do want to keep our stones though, but I think I'm going to sacrifice you here to grab this Undead Amulet to see what it's going to be. Amulet of Wilds is crazy. Genuinely crazy. We're going to have a lot of spike damage. Hell yeah, I'm going to be moving on with this for now. So I do want to grab our mana orb to potentially stack up quite a bit of mana to get some big mana buff bombs to potentially stack up even more in power, even more buffs. But can we keep up with this bonus? We do have a lot of spikes. It's looking super close actually, but hell yeah, not too bad. We do get our life back, and now we do have a choice to make. THORNBLOOMs with a card cupboard is one of the best ways to play the Ranger, genuinely. Which means you want to take big ball of treats. However, I have a different idea in mind. I'm thinking about taking Leaf here. I'm thinking about taking Leaf because we're going to have an insane amount of regen from the get-go. We're going to be looking for heart containers for even more max life, which does give us some power. Yeah, we're going to be taking it to that. Which means we're going to grab this bit of storage. Let's grab this mana orb. We're going to take the Lucky Clover if we can take it by selling a stone. Because that is going to be another class-specific item as well. Now, it does mean we should be able to start off with 10 regen, which means our blueberries is going to be stacking up some luck for us. We do want to have 4 luck from the very beginning, so we can actually start stacking up some extra power here. I'm going to sell the shiny shell 2 roll again. We could end up grabbing a lightsaber here. I don't think it's going to be worth it. I'm just going to move on with this for now. Okay. So we're going to see how we get on with this. We should be able to stack up some luck, which does mean we should be able to get our cards to stack up. Summon power first. So we should be able to stack up a lot of max life. Mana isn't going to be too valuable for us right now, but it's not looking too bad. Hell yeah. Big ol' smashing THORNBLOOM action. Now should we go triple? Definitely not. We did get an extra stone, which I'm kind of sad about. We're going to take it and we're going to roll here. And we could take the flute for some stamina gains, but yeah, I'm not going to be taking it. Eye lamp, I don't think I'm going to take here either. I'm going to take this leather bag. And should we just go and Impractically Large Great Sword here? I mean, I'd really, really love to. Guard power, Impractically Large Great Sword. Right now, I don't think we can really afford to take it. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to actually have to pass on it, which is madness in my opinion. We did get a bag of stones. I think it's a little bit too late to grab it right now. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm just going to move on with this. So we'll see how we get on. Can we actually keep up with this piercing arrow, villain sword? They're going to have a lot of damage on this villain sword. But we got a lot of spikes. So all our little melee weapons are going to be dealing a lot of damage to themselves. And you know what? So far, not looking too bad. And we could have actually got an Impractically Large Great Sword, since we did stack up a lot of power. Now, THORNBLOOM here with Turn Burst means a lot of spike generation. Stone here would have been nice if we did keep our stones. But Mana Mastery here, I'm thinking about actually taking. You know what? Let's take it. Big mana buff bombs. Hell yeah. More crits. Kind of nice, actually. Not going to take it though. I'm going to roll here. I do want to grab our stamina sack. We could take the Jinx. Potentially go for Paradise Burb. But I'm going to roll here. A second mana orb, I'm going to gladly take here. I'm going to roll once more here. And unfortunately, I think I'm just going to rock on with this for now. This should be somewhat decent here. We do have our Mana Master in here. We should be able to trigger that quite often. And we have the potential to stack up a lot of mana. But that is an insane amount of daggers. And holy moly, do we not stand a chance. That was kind of nuts. And we could actually craft up a mana pot here. I'm going to take it. Which means I'm probably going to take the potion belts. I'm going to roll again. More crits is nice. That's a heart container. We're going to gladly take 2, and we could make the switch up to Impractically Large Great Sword. Am I crazy though to be wanting to go for double THORNBLOOM here for a lot of max life stacking? Now, to be honest, crafting up a mana pot would be nice to get a lot more mana from the get-go, but it doesn't really help us stack up our luck, which is exactly what our Subclass race is doing right now. I'm going to be a little bit dumb. I'm going to sell our stone here. I'm going to sell this, and I'm actually going to take the flute. The flute is going to be a little bit of luck. It's also going to make our mana mastery trigger a little bit faster. And I'm not going to take the Impractically Large Great Sword here. I'm just going to take our heart container and I'm going to move on for now. So we start off with 16 mana. We start off with 16 freaking regen, which means we should be able to activate 2 heart containers, which means even more power. But holy moly, we're getting smashed by hammer dagger bills like crazy. And prismatic orb is kind of nuts. I'm going to gladly take it, but we're going to grab a heart container for now. We can't really afford to take that just yet here either. But I'm going to take this predictable person. I'm going to move on. We're going to get a prismatic orb in the next rounds. And we'll see how we get on with this. We should be able to activate our heart container, which means 312 max life. We do get a little bit more power from the get-go. And we do have some more scaling regen also. The only thing is, we are running out of stamina like crazy. But we should potentially get a big mana buff bomb here, giving us even more buffs. All we need to do is survive for a couple more seconds. And unfortunately, we just didn't get there. Not ideal. But let's take a prismatic orb. Let's roll once here. With our heart container, hell yeah. Leather bag with some spike stacking also. We're going to have to figure out how we're going to fit this prismatic orb in to get as much mana as possible. I mean, we could go with something like this, which is going to be a little bit more mana, but we are going to lose out on 2 mana at this site. But it is going to be 8 more mana. So we should potentially be able to activate our big mana orb a little bit easier. I'm going to actually move on with this. We should also potentially be able to get a lot of max life from this also. So we do start off with 22 mana, which is really, really nice. We do get our power, so we do stack up our max life as well. And we should be able to deal some big, big damage also. We did get a big mana buff bomb, which does give us a ton of max life. We got so much in power, and hell yeah, our build is definitely, after coming online, amazing. Now, a little chestnut. Could be kind of nice to keep our mana orb situation going as well. So I'm going to take the storage. I'm going to take a little chestnut. Unfortunately, you're not going to be a nature item, which is not going to be ideal. But you are going to help us stack up our mana, which is also really, really darn nice here. Do we sell our boots here to take this pineapple for some stacking spikes? Hell yeah, I definitely am. And yeah, I'm going to move on with this for now. Okay. So little chestnut should potentially be able to stack up our mana first to help us get to our big mana buff bomb as well. And then after that, it could potentially help us stack up our power for max life, which is going to be genuinely awesome. We cleanse all the debuffs when we do activate our mana orb. And actually, little chestnut is going to stack up our regen for us. But so far, definitely not looking too bad here. That poison is stacking up. Holy moly, a couple more seconds there. And we would have lost. We actually going to end up with a 45 DPS, which is not crazy by any means. As for heals, we end up with 20 healing per second basically, as well as 20 max life gained per second. Once we get a second THORNBLOOM though, we're going to double that, which is going to be really, really nice. And as for block, not a whole lot of block. We probably should take our points and run, but yeah, I'm going to be trying to make this as crazy as possible. Now, heart container is going to be crazy as possible, but so is a freaking extra prismatic orb. Yeah, I'm going to have to take that. As for pineapple, we just cannot really afford to add it in since we added in prismatic orbs here, but we should have an insane amount of mana from the get-go. We pretty much proc our mana orb from the get-go, which means we get instant max life stacked up. We get instant damage, we get instant crits, we get instant spikes. Hell yeah. So overall, not looking too bad. Now, our opponent does have an Excalibur. They're going to be going super fast, actually. And unfortunately, yeah, they're going to have an insane amount of scaling here. Definitely outpacing our scaling, even though we have a ton of buffs here. Unfortunately, we do end up falling short. Not ideal, it is what it is. Now, should we just bite the bullet and say goodbye to this and take Impractically Large Great Sword? The one has been offered to us about 15 times here. Maybe we should. I'm going to sell it. Let's take it. I'd love to grab a heart container, but you know what? I'm going to craft up a Heart of Darkness. And yeah, I'm going to move on with this for now. Let's actually take this stamina stack. The Heart of Darkness is going to be kind of nice here because it is going to give us more power from the get-go. So Impractically Large Great Sword should be able to activate from the get-go. It's going to deal a lot more damage than the THORNBLOOM overall. Now we are going to be getting another Excalibur, which is kind of nuts. They're going to be going crazy on max life stacking. But can we actually keep up? Can we actually beat this Excalibur by adding in Impractically Large Great Sword? Unfortunately, it's looking maybe not so great here. We do have a lot of max life. We do have lots of power here. It's kind of nuts. And you know what? Maybe we have the potential to actually outpace him here. We have 100% crits. We have some vampirism. And so far, actually not looking as bad here. Some big old damage. Hell yeah. We've got a Heart of Darkness, which is going to reduce healing now as well. It's going to give us more power, which is really, really nice as well. Let's grab you. Let's grab this extra heart container. Let's roll again. And I kind of want to cry. And that is mad. Genuinely mad to get this Heroic Paw. To be honest. Am I going to take it? Definitely, definitely not. What I'm going to reserve is this Protectable Purse. And we should be in a pretty good spot with a second heart container here. We should be able to start off with an insane amount of max life. We should be able to proc both of these instantly. Reduce healing. And have a ton of max life. Now, can we actually keep up with this Dancing Dragon type builds? We got lots of heat. Hell yeah, we definitely can. Now, we could actually trade our pineapple for a bunch of kinds. Yeah, we definitely do not want that. We do want to set it. Blueberries though. That's going to be more mana from the get-go. Let's take you for now. Let's take the carrot. Let's roll again. And I do want to take another stamina sack here as well. I'm going to roll once more. Pair of gloves, which is kind of nice. Let's roll again. Now, Blood Turn could have been nice too. Let's roll once more. Another set of blueberries. I'm going to sell our pineapple to actually take it here as well. And this is going to be our final setup. One final heart container would have been nice to grab as well, but we just couldn't take it actually. If you had one more round here, I'd gladly take it, but unfortunately it is what it is. Now, definitely what a crazy setup. From a THORNBLOOM into Yggsdrasils Leaf, into a Mana Mastery for big mana buff bombs. Yeah, definitely a super fun build here. Now, a second THORNBLOOM would mean a crap ton of max life. Unfortunately though, we couldn't actually get that online. Now, we are going to begin cold stacking builds, which is going to be relatively rough here. Slowing us down by quite a bit. We do need to activate our mana orbs here to cleanse a lot of that cold. So we did activate our mana orb a little bit too fast here. Potentially actually hurting us in the long run. But our little chestnut is going to be going super fast here, stacking up our power. But is it going to be enough here? Our opponent has a crazy absurd setup with 2 amps of steel. And unfortunately, it's not looking too great here. Some big damage, but we do end up falling short once again. Right at the very end. So unfortunately, we do end up falling short. It's kind of crazy that the cold stacking build does actually outpace us. Our opponent did have a nut setup with amps of steel though. It is what it is. We did end up with a 78 DPS, which is actually not bad for the amount of cold our opponent did stack up on us. They did have 100 DPS. As for heals, we did end up with 25 health gained with 40 max health gained per second, which is not terribly bad. As for block, not a whole lot of block. We did, however, survive with 1 life left. Let's go and see just how much rank points we managed to get. Plus 8, rank us up a decent bit here. But anyways, I'm going to leave you here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even subscribing. And I hope you keep a lookout for the next one. I'll see you next time. I'm jumping back into some round 18 fights. Let's give some justice to our build here for that final cold stacking build. We should be able to deal a lot of damage. We should be able to stack up a lot of buffs. And hell yeah, this is looking much, much better. Now, can we deal with a Brass Knuckles Prismatic Sword with a bunch of lifesteal here? Some heal reduction with the Capitalist Comforts? Potentially. So far, they do get invulnerability. They are healing back up though. Paradise Burb is making their stuff trigger faster. They are stunning us. Can we actually keep up though? Hell yeah, we definitely can. Now, can we deal with probably one of the meta Ranger builds? With the Card Goobers, into THORNBLOOM here, we're after dealing some insane damage from the get-go. And hell yeah.